The peoples of the world today are ready to fight America. They're ready to fight America not because they're tired of what America has been doing and has been doing to them. They're ready to fight America because they've been inspired by the heroic people of Vietnam who defeated American imperialism before the eyes of the world. Peoples of the world stand uncompromising. I want to give you one last example to show you why you must fight against capitalism and for socialism. I live in Guinea. Guinea is a little country in West Africa. We're not a very rich country. Oh, well, we're rich, of course. Africa is the richest continent in the world. We know that. That's why it's so important for Africans the world over to fight for her. Africa, being the richest continent in the world, once properly organized, will be the most powerful continent on the face of the earth. Africa is rich. In Guinea, the little part of Guinea where I live, the little part of Africa where I live, 1/3 of the world's bauxite is to be found there. 1/3. I'm not speaking of the diamonds that are to be found in Guinea. I'm not speaking of the iron ore to be found in Guinea. I'm just speaking about the bauxite alone. Because if you come to my country now, you'll find that my brothers and sisters, their shirts are torn, their pants are tattered. Oh, if you look at, we make some sandals in Guinea and they're made of plastic, they break every 2 weeks. We make some matches and sometimes it takes you 5 before you get one lit. Oh, our level of production is very low. We're not worried about that. We understand the problem. That's a result of ruthless European imperialism, particularly French. Yes, so we understand the problem. We're going to get where we're going. That's no problem. But if you come to my country in Guinea, where our level of production is very low, where we don't have enough doctors to take care of our people, where we don't even have enough medicine to give it to our people on a mass basis, where our level of scientific achievement in the field of medicine is very low. If you come to my country in Guinea, if you're the lowliest peasant in the most remote part of the bush, if you are sick, a doctor must take care of you free of charge. The government pays his salary. Free of charge. I live in Guinea. I come to America often, and when I come to America, I'm afraid to get sick. I'm afraid to get sick because I don't have the money to pay a doctor just for a visit, let alone to go to a hospital to get well. The system in America is so backwards that doctors who take a Hippocratic oath to help the sick organize themselves and under conflict of interest send a lobby to Congress and tell the Congress of the United States, you better not give socialized medicine to the poor people. We want to be able to exploit them too. Leave them. When they're sick, let them come to us. We too must be able to get some profits and squeeze from the poor and the sick. It's a culmination and the logical extension of a vicious and stupid system. The difference is clear, crystal clear. In Guinea, the young man and the young woman going to medical school understands properly the value system of the country. He and she knows that they are going to school to serve mankind. Thus, whatever knowledge they possess, whatever knowledge they get, will be put to the benefit of man. In America, the student going to school for medicine is going to school to make money. Thus, as soon as he becomes a doctor, he tries to make as much as he can. This backward system must be fought. You must fight against it, and you must struggle for scientific socialism. I thank you. The question is, I touched briefly on a one-party system. Could I expand a little? And what stops a one-party system from defining the aspirations of the people? From defining its own aspirations at the expense of... from defining its own aspirations at the expense of the people. Well, now, if you believe that the only interest is the building of the nation and the serving of the people, the one-party system is a mass party. But you must understand the difference between political parties and mass parties. A mass party is a party that affects every aspect of life of the individual in the society. I think the only example that I can allude to in America is, well, two examples. One is the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, which we helped to organize in 1964, and then the second one was an offshoot of that, which was the Lowndes County Freedom Party, in Lowndes County, the first Black Panther Party in this country. In those parties, for example, in the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, it wasn't just a question of organizing the people politically for vote, but inside the party we had farmer cooperatives, inside the party we had liberation schools, inside the party we had literacy classes, inside the party we had health classes, nurse care, which rendered services to the people, so that every aspect of the life of the people is tied into the mass party. Thus the people are a much stronger vehicle, and they're not just called upon to vote every 4 years or every 7 years, etc., etc. And this alone is built in to have the people participating in the party. For example, in Guinea, we have a party, it's the Democratic Party of Guinea, or in French, the Parti Démocratique du Guinée. And in our party, everybody is armed. That alone will keep the leadership. That alone. Yes. Everybody is armed, and we're armed by the government. The government gives us guns. The government teaches us how to use the guns. Anytime the government betrays the people, two questions. One is, we should please shed some light on Israel. First question. Second question, did Nkrumah really die of cancer? Well, let's say in the second question that Nkrumah is dead. On the first question, the question of Israel now becomes a very important question. One we must deal with properly and understand correctly. Israel is an illegal, immoral, an unjust Zionist state. Illegal, immoral, and unjust. Of course, I have to say that because I'm an African. Egypt is my land, and Israel is occupying my land. So that I couldn't be supporting Israel. And while there are many Jewish people who are born in America and have never seen Israel, they can support Israel, then I certainly can support Africa, especially since it's obvious and evident that Africa is my land when you look at me. And when you look at them, it's not so sure that Israel is their land. I say that it's an illegal, immoral, and unjust state because in 1916, Lord Balfour ceded the land to a group of Zionists. Lord Balfour, being a British imperialist, had no right to give the land of the Palestinian people to a handful of Zionists. I say it's an illegal, immoral, and unjust state. I say it's an illegal, immoral, and unjust state because in order for the Palestinian people to leave their land, they were driven off by the most barbaric and terroristic acts that man has ever seen, led by the Stern Gang. Yes. I say it's an illegal, immoral, and unjust state because since 1967, the world body, the United Nations, has been asking the unjust, immoral, illegal Zionist state of Israel to withdraw, and she has refused, defying worldwide opinion. I say it's an illegal, immoral, and unjust state because the land occupied by Zionism belonged to the people of Palestine. It's their land. And knowing that it's an illegal, immoral, and unjust state, I understand it cannot succeed. The just peoples of Palestine will get their land back. I have no alternative but to support the people of Palestine. I have no alternative but to fight against Israel. It's my enemy because it's occupying my land, Egypt. Egypt is in Africa. I am an African. That is my land. They must be pushed off my land, and they will be pushed off my land. The only two countries that support Israel are the United States of America and South Africa. Yes. Well, justice is objective. And in order to deal with justice, we must be objective. There can be no sentimentality. The land belongs to the people of Palestine. The land belongs to the people of Palestine. And the people of Palestine must get their land back. I can only get you one at a time now. One at a time. Correct.
What I see is that there are 3.5 million people who also occupy the land of Palestine. And you can't kill that.
Yes.
And so there must be something else.
Are you sure you cannot? Are you sure you cannot?
Well, I would hope not.
Well, if you look at these 3.5 million people, all they do is expand, 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 gobble up more land, gobble up more. I'm going to try. I understand that they're very emotional about the problem, but I'm just as emotional because Egypt is my land. You understand? But I'm less emotional because I know we're going to win. So I'm not even worried about it. Germany, under Hitler, is purported to have killed X million of Jews. Let me finish. I said X million. It killed some. I don't think it killed 6. But let's say it killed 6. All right, let's say it killed 6. Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Hitler lost the war. According to war, to the victors belong the spoil. Since Hitler lost the war, let the Jews take the land from Germany. Why come to Palestine when the Arabs have done nothing to you and take the land from the Arabs? Why? The taking of that land is for one reason and one reason only, an extension of imperialism. And so these 3.5 million people who are there to carry out the wishes of imperialism. I am totally, thoroughly, completely in thought, word, and action against imperialism. Those who support it, there is no sentimentality in my decision to destroy them. Let's do that.
Okay, now looking at it, it's like a lot easier if people of the world didn't destroy themselves or people die as a shirt. Wouldn't you say that would be a lot more? Yeah! Africa, and all of that. But if you look at it realistically, people are there. It's a lot easier if people can share the land.
All right. The question is, shouldn't it be better if the people share the land and live like brothers? Well, I have no disagreement with that, except that first the Palestinians must get the land back. Then they must decide what tradition and what type of system they want, and those who are on their land must live under their tradition, their culture, and their system. It is the only just solution. I will not let somebody come into my house, drive me out my house, and then later come back and tell me, well, you can come in the house and we can share the house together. No, you get out of my house first. I beg your pardon?
You want to do that for your cause.
No, well, Africa is my land. It's my house. It's my home. I've got to get it back, all of it. I've got to push the Portuguese into the sea in Mozambique and Angola. I've got to push them into the sea in Guinea-Bissau. I've got to push the European settlers in the south of my continent into the sea. And I've got to push those on the north of my continent into the sea.
Why do you say that?
I don't see why you get excited. It's a question of what's just and what's unjust. Let's deal with what's just and what's unjust. Is it just for European Jews, Zionists, to take the land of the Palestinian people, to kick them off the land, to use terrorism, the worst means of terrorism, to drive 2 million people off the land within a short period of time so they can take the land under the lying slogans of a land without people for a people without land? Is that just? Huh? Oh, I know. You are saying that the land originally belongs to the Israelis. And your basis for that is the Bible, which is nothing but Jewish lyrical mythology and poetry. Come now.
European Jews who went into Israel and took over the land. Okay, they're imperialists, they're capitalists. Okay, we have to fight against imperialists and capitalists. Also in Israel are Sephardic Jews from Ethiopia, Sephardic Jews from Iraq.
Understood.
Sephardic Jews who lived in Palestine before the Ashkenazi Jews, before the imperialist Jews came in.
Who are now oppressed by these.
Is the proper analysis is that you eliminate the Zionist imperialist state, eliminate the Zionist imperialists.
That's what I said.
Right, okay, but that doesn't involve the genocide of 3.5 million people. You didn't say that.
I said the Zionist state of Israel is illegal, immoral, and unjust. I said European Jews, Zionists, came to take over the land and now control the land. These Zionists are the ones who must be defeated and that state dismantled.
What line do you have to be throwing all of us back?
Oh, I do. This land belongs to the red man. He's going to get it back. He's going to get it back. The red man is going to get his land back. That's why I said my goal is Pan-Africanism. I know my land is Africa. I ain't got no problem with it. This land is not my land. And I'm going to help the red man get his land back. See, revolution, its principles are universal. It can't just be applied here and there. If it's applied, it must be applied universally. Hey, but we got to have justice. It's unjust that the original owner of this land should be cooped up on a reservation in the most filthy and disgusting way while America is the richest country in the world. Yes. And the only solution is that he be allowed to have his land back. And he will get it back. In the black community, we say, what goes around? It's dialectical. Because we can't spell out the tactics, but it will happen. Number one, as the peoples of the world cut off more and more the arms of the octopus of America, its resources will become less and less. The capitalist interest inside will then have to turn on the workers inside to exploit them more and more. As that exploitation occurs more and more, the workers will begin to fight to maintain what little interest they have. The strikes that you're seeing occurring in such frequency in this country, which they play down, the strikes which are by the rank and file, even against the advice of the leadership, is a clear example of the beginnings of those struggles. Yes, it is.
Why should we work if it's inevitable?
Why should you work?
Why should we work for the revolution if it's inevitable?
Oh, because you... Well, the reason why you should work for it is because Elridge Cleaver said, if you're not part of the solution... One final question.
What do you feel about peaceful transition to socialism in America?
There's no such thing. It must come through armed struggle because you're talking about two diametrically opposed systems. I beg your pardon? Last question. Come.
What does art and culture have in a society that's faced with an incredible fascist state control? How, or is it even possible through art and culture to raise consciousness? Is that a valid response to the time?
Yes.
Pre-revolution.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In America, of course, we're told that there's art for art's sake and culture for culture's sake, but what they really mean is art for money's sake and culture for money's sake. Art, of course, and culture must be used to inspire the people to push them forward to build higher civilizations. Thus, the role of the artist in the society would be to, through his art and through his culture, to point out the contradictions in the society, push the consciousness of the people, and constantly pushing them towards humanity. It's his responsibility. Yes. Final question.
You always talk about putting everything in a proper historical perspective. Okay, well, I think it's everybody's duty to understand the African origins of the major Western religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And to get to the history of it, you understand more about the whole struggle in Palestine today. Because present-day European Jews were converted to Judaism 70 AD after the fall of Jerusalem. That's what
That's it. That's it. So anyway, I'd like to make one more announcement. Monday at 7:30, the Ethnic Commission is bringing to this campus the film called State of Siege, and to be played right in here.
Please, let me say one thing about the State of Siege. You must be very careful about that movie because the movie has no political ideology. And what it demonstrates is a group of people held together by violence. So you must look carefully. People are held together by political ideology. There's a much better movie made by the guerrillas themselves which shows the political ideology that holds them together. But you should see the film.
Yes, we'd like to thank Stokely Carmichael for doing a dynamite job tonight one more time. All right.